Again. Pick single strings. Oh my god.
Same riff on the...
Same riff on the other guitar.
Yeah,
I'll tell you which one it is.
I think so. And let's just see if you can also get...
Single chord was harder than a riff. A riff's easier. So Fraser's had this idea of basically how well do I know my own guitars? Can I tell the difference in sound between my electric and acoustic guitars blindfolded?
The tables have turned.
Yes. So let's start off with the acoustics, and I'm going to give them both to you. Hold them both up in front of you. I'm going to blindfold myself, stick my fingers in my ears. Put one of those guitars back on the stand now. And tell me when you've done it.
It has been done.
Right, so there's no way I can know which acoustics, but it is one of the fifths. So, play a G chord.
Play a G chord.
That is the Mars, the darker one. The other one's the Neptune's got the cutaway, so it's the one without the cutaway.
I'm gonna switch.
Okay, yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah. That was my guess.
This could change your mind quite easily.
Of course, yeah. That's
so fingers back in ears.
Enough. Swap them. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Fingers back in ears, because I don't.
Okay.
I don't want no. I don't want.
There might be a giveaway. Yeah.
No, we'll see. I could have done you dirty there and done.
No. Oh, now that one sounds like that. Okay, I might have had them the wrong way around. Is my instinct. Yeah, that one sounds deeper, and I think that's the one with the cutaway. That's the Neptune, the first. Yeah, that one sounds like the Neptune with the cutaway, and the first one was the Mars.
Yeah,
right.
I tell you what.
Okay, well, did I get the other one? Did I get it right first time?
You got it right. In the room, just sat with this. It was noticeable actually.
There's a difference.
Yeah, obviously I'm gonna know because I can see.
Mid range, mid scoot.
Yeah,
is what I heard.
Gosh, yeah.
And obviously this is the same room that I normally hear them in. But I thought when you put it back, I thought I got it wrong.
Yeah, because
you sort of alluded that I might have got it wrong. I might have done a dirty there. But no, right.
Well, because I thought I immediately was like, you got it right, and then I changed my tone.
Okay,
I wasn't prepared at all. I was like, you got it right.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no, nice.
I'm 1 for 1 so far. Right, I'm blindfolded again.
Right.
Go for the 2 D'Angelicos. Can I tell the difference between those two? Do one note.
There we are.
Right, we're ready?
Right, so, I mean, you definitely don't know which one this is.
I've not a clue.
We didn't allude to it. Here we go. Thickest D string.
Test the treble pickup for me, please.
Test the treble pickup. Okay.
Yeah, bridge pickup.
Bridge. Yeah.
Okay, I want to hear the other one.
Yeah. Okay.
Before I make my decision.
I think the interesting thing is I don't know how these two sound, so it's also interesting for me.
I do. Let's compare them.
Same thing again. I don't think that's easy.
That's not easy. Play it again. That's the red one. The first one was the right one. That's the red one.
Right, should we switch again? Continuity. Yeah, so that was the first time I'd heard something different. Unexpectedly.
Oh, I think I got them the wrong way around now. So I'm listening for 2 things. I'm listening to the red one's got higher output pickup, and the white one is bigger. So I'll hear there'll be the chord especially was louder on the previous one. So I now think that's the red one. The hotter output pickups, I think that's the red one. Yes! Okay, so I was wrong the first time, but the chord gave it away.
Yeah, I think the two E notes was harder.
Two E notes, I didn't have I got it wrong.
Yeah.
So they're a lot hotter pickups than I thought, a lot more rounded too. But I think I was hearing a bit of the...
Yes.
It was hard to tell what was coming from the amplifier and what was the sound in the room.
When that chord rang on that, you felt... Because we're so focused on it that I could feel the body literally resonating.
Yes,
because it is, and you could feel how much bigger that is. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh man,
but that should have a. If you give it some, give us a chord on the crunch set in gain 5 out of 10. They're very hot pickups.
Yeah.
And compared to that one, they're a bit lower output.
These are these OG
PAFs.
That's right.
But they're actually underwound. There's a big thing like 10, 15 years ago when higher output pickups were like better.
Yeah.
And apparently they're just not. That's a bit BS. That's just what people tried to do to sell new pickups, basically. That was the new thing at the time. So he's got a bit more vintage and has a bit more clarity. And that one, they're both really clear. But yeah, those are the two things I was actually listening for. Those are hotter pickups. So they'll be louder and a more overdrive to them and more sustain. But really, in the room blindfolded, bigger body. It would be this test would be easier if you had nothing coming through the amp. I'm just searching for the size of the body. A lot of people can tell a difference between one guitar and another. Like even without, I would be interested to do without with some of the solid body ones. Pick any other two. I don't care which one.
I've had time to think about this one, and I think this would be hot on everyone else's minds. So let's just go. Yeah. Well, it's certainly hot on my mind, isn't it?
This is either Gretsch SG, Epiphone Les Paul, or Shergold.
Yeah.
It's one of those four, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
There's also a Telstar Shergold over there.
Yeah, you keep talking.
La da la la la. The tuning might give it away, so put it instead.
Yeah, I'm just.
Give me one note. Okay, it's the Les Paul or the SG. What am I comparing this to? Put it down.
Yep. I was going to say we're leaving it there. Don't want too much of a giveaway. Can you get this?
So that to me sounded super, super sharp. Humbucker sound certainly, but a very sharp humbucker. And the sharpest humbuckers I've got are the SG and the Les Paul.
Yeah, and remind me what the pickup was in your Les Paul.
Les Paul SH1.
Oh yeah,
Seymour Duncan.
SH.
PAF style. A lot of my humbuckers are PAF style, but they do all sound a bit different. But the body does make a difference as well. So, or does it? Let's see.
Right, here we go.
That was warm. Do that again.
We're going to ring that note there because we did do that.
That's the Les Paul. The first one was the SG. That's a bit warmer. I'm going to take... Am I alright to take off?
You may reveal.
Oh, it's the other way around. Okay.
Yeah.
But really, really similar, right?
Yeah, and that chord there rang really, really nice. I'm sure
that tuning was a bit sharper as well.
Yeah,
and Les Paul. I know he's Gibson head stuff, but that one,
it was sharp. Yeah, as in sounded nice. I think as well.
Yeah.
That was interesting because who would have thought
that sounded warmer, right?
Yeah, like it had. Yeah, which I guess SGs can be have a more of a boomier sound, but
maybe a bit more mid-scoop, which is why it sounded warmer. I don't know. It sounded warmer, but there wasn't a lot between them at all.
Yeah, and I went a bit. I realised I didn't even include the third there, which.
Oh really?
I feel like it was like a Freudian slip to whereas I'm doing AC/DC
Yeah, but
anyway, yeah.
But the neck pickup would be totally different.
Yeah.
That one's the original neck pickup, so it doesn't really match that one. I think the Shergold's in down tuning.
I've got an idea.
Okay, if you've got an idea, go with that.
I've got an idea. I've got my own curiosity here, so let's see.
All right, go for it.
Just gonna ring the G note for this one. And just
Okay,
see,
so string 6.
and then we can have like a round 2, maybe.
Okay.
There's your chance.
Yep.
Gonna switch. I'm not letting you get away with
Sorry,
that.
I actually probably can guess it from the inputs. I now realise.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I think one of them's the Gretsch, and then if one's one I've heard before, I think the first one was either the Les Paul or the SG. I'm gonna say Les Paul, and that one's the Gretsch.
right. Let's just have a little quick round 2.
Is my
just for the
my
chord.
instinct.
So same guitar. I'm just gonna ring the chord.
Ooh, do that again. Again. Pick single strings. Oh my god.
Right, I'm gonna
Play an AC/DC riff.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
That's the Gretsch.
Would you like to hear that same riff on the?
Same riff on the other guitar?
Yeah,
please. I'll tell you which one it is.
I think so. And let's just see if you can also get.
Single chord was harder than a riff. A riff's easier.
Yeah. I think so too. So let's see.
G.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that it might have caught you out. I don't know. Yeah.
Instinct, but
that did sound Gretchy.
It did, yeah, for sure. I thought it would be cleaner. I thought it would. I thought those were a lot less output than. And on some settings they are. I think the overdrive on that is compressing everything a bit.
Yeah.
Might have been easier to do this with the valve amp actually, but yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I think that was super jangly. And
It
you
is,
don't get a lot of
yeah.
opportunity to do
It's
like
the
this.
closest thing to a Rickenbacker.
Yes.
And the Gretsch type. That's why I've still got it. There's certain. I mean, it's the George Harrison, early Beatles guitar.
It had that vibe.
It does a bit of the Ricky thing. So I've still got it basically, and it's only a budget one, but playing AC/DC on comparing the two. How would I describe the quality? That one's more fuller with a lot more bite.
A lot of bite.
This one it's a bit janglier.
Yeah.
And has these Filtron style. I think these are Filtron mini humbuckers. They have a bit more of a fizzy top end.
Yeah, I did notice. Yeah.
And those are just all punch and bite and that kind of thing. And that's why they sit really well together in a mix. Yeah. There's a real if you have two people in a band,
Malcolm and Angus.
It literally is. I know it's not identical,
but it's the right idea.
You have a bit. If you have the same pickups in a band and you go through the same amp, you would have to pan them left and right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if they're panning any close, they're kind of fighting for the same sort of thing.
Correct.
And those are very complementary pickups that I don't think are utilised enough by any other bands, really.
No.
Even more than single coil and humbucker. Those they're very different sounding, but they're both a bit humbuckery, so they have a similar sound to them.
Yeah, similar.
Okay, so we have two acoustics. I don't know what they are. We've done the 2/5 already.
Okay.
They're probably the most similar to what I've got.
Yeah.
If it's my signature budget acoustic, I'll probably notice it the most, along with my first ever crafted guitar, the blue one. That one's got old strings, and it's also the narrowest, so the bowl back, I'd hear a bigger difference between that.
Okay.
The travel guitar could be tough. I know it's a polisher, but it could be tough. Strum a chord. I don't know. Go right. Lead the way.
We haven't had a chance to tune, so if it's out of tune, it is.
You feel free. Go on. Tune it up.
Okay, right. Okay.
I can't tell what guitar. Would you like a clip-on tuner? Otherwise, that gives away that it's a plug-in one.
No, I think it'll do. It's not perfectly in tune, but it's just for you to hit.
Alright, give. Maybe we'll try a one-string challenge on the next one. We go for it.
Exactly.
Right, it's out of tune.
It might even be relatively
big-bodied. Strum that again. That sounds like the Parlour travel guitar Journey Instruments. Try it against another one so I know for sure.
Yeah, just yep. And I will not give anything away. Right.
Again. That's quiet.
I don't think I'm not trying to deceive.
Again. I now suspect that the first one was my signature beginner acoustic, and that's the Parlour Journey instrument. Play it again.
Yeah, one more time. We can switch back to the other one just to give it a bit more fair, but we'll play this one again.
Play a riff. I don't know. I can't tell the difference between the Parlour and and my signature one.
Right,
Try the first one again. Try the first one again. Wow, but those strings sound old. Oh, okay. Go again.
Ooh.
That's my Crafter. The other one was either my Journey or my signature, and I really can't tell a lot between them.
Yeah.
And if that's correct, then that's damn good for my signature, because wow, that's. But what would I go for? Play it again.
Well, this is the first one, and I'll.
Yeah. Play a riff. Like, give me the best one strum, like the most lush. Those strings sound really old. That's my Crafter.
Yeah.
Pick up the other one.
Yeah. It's like the whole tone difference.
Play again. That's my signature beginner acoustic guitar.
This sounds bright, really bright.
Oh, the other one
really
was that?
Surprised. Yeah.
Really?
This was this.
Oh,
yeah.
those strings needs changing.
Yeah, the we can forgive the tuning.
Fair enough.
But yeah, and I think it kept it fair, because if those strings are old, it's kind of nice just if we were.
But those strings need a change is the biggest difference. I'll be honest. What did you notice from that?
Yeah, I never had an opportunity to do anything like
Yeah,
this
of
before.
course.
There's so many varied things. I mean, this is so bright. Is all I was gonna say. It's got a real brightness, like a real jangliness to it.
Yeah,
which is really nice. And it's cool to finally play this.
Finally
thing.
play the signature.
Yeah.
£100.
Yeah, honestly, that is crazy. Yeah,
That plays well for £100 guitar, right?
I'm not gonna lie. It's so This is so different. These are amazing, and it's just that like the brightness that I'm really fond of. I was surprised.
They're very mid heavy though, because it's laminated woods. It's budgie material, so we can sell them for £100.
Yeah.
But you can play up the neck on it.
Yeah,
Stuff,
and this is what we were talking about with the other Faith. It's nice to.
You actually can't get up past 12 frets on that, and that's beyond. If you can do that on that, you're cool, right?
Yeah, really.
How did I do? We'll have the score on screen.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I think you nailed it.
Yeah, that was fascinating, and I think I think it would do just as well. Hearing them unplugged, so you can hear the body more than the pickups.
Big takeaway, I think.
It's probably the bigger thing for telling a guitar apart blindfolded doing this. But there you go. I do know my own guitars relatively well. I'm going to get you back on this one day with your guitar.
Yeah.
Do it.
Crikey.